viewers, this is Caleb with DSLRVideoShooter.com. Today we're looking at another excerpt from the GH4 guide, and in this section we're going to be talking about the Atomos Shogun. And I want to discuss with you guys whether or not I think it's a good choice for GH4 users. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's go ahead and take a look at the clip. So now it's finally time to talk about recording 4K externally using something like a Shogun from Atomos. Now, I really should title this something like why you shouldn't use something like this to record externally. So this is kind of interesting. I got this unit, the Atomos Shogun, to go ahead and go forward with some testing to see how this unit could record 4K externally and get 422 10-bit, whereas the camera only records 420 8-bit. And I was actually really surprised with what I found. And what I found was there really isn't that much of a difference when you look at the two files. There is a huge difference when it comes to file sizes. Here we have a file right off of the camera card at 4K, 420 8-bit. And here we have a 422 10-bit file off of the Atomos Shogun. Obviously there is a massive file size difference. So if you're going to be using an external recorder, you need to expect tons and tons of data. But you are saving yourself transcoding because you're recording straight into ProRes on this device. But back to image quality, there really wasn't much of a difference between the two. I did a lot of comparison and I'll show you guys some images, but I could barely see any difference on my computer. And I also found when I actually uploaded this stuff and checked it out on YouTube and Vimeo, what little difference there may have been was gone. The artifacts of compression and what those video sites do when they compress and display the image, you lose all of that quality that you spent $2,000 to get. So I'm finding that if you're shooting 4K on a GH4, it's actually better just to skip the entire external recording and record directly onto the camera. Unless you're going to be streaming to something like Netflix, which has a lot higher quality and you want to do distribution, or if you have a film that you're going to be distributing, then you might consider using an external recorder. Or if you're doing a ton of grading, but I did as much grading as I possibly could think of, even to the point of stupidity, and I still couldn't find a difference. It's actually much better just to use the camera. You're saving space for all of your drives and all of your footage. You're not having to lug around a massive monitor with a battery and an extra cable. And we should be taking this as great news. It's saving us $2,000, and it means our camera is awesome and can record pretty kick-butt footage right onto the card. But now I do want to walk through setting up the Shogun to work with the GH4 for those of you who do want to move forward and record 4K externally. First, double check to make sure your luminance level is set to 16 to 235. Next, navigate to the HDMI record out menu setting and choose either 8-bit or 10-bit. 8-bit will allow you to record on the camera and the Shogun simultaneously, while 10-bit will only allow recording on the Shogun. Make sure you have info display turned off. Finally, set the 4K down convert to off. And now we can go over to the Shogun, and on the Shogun, make sure you are receiving a 2160p signal. Next, check your ProRes settings and choose from one of the options. HQ is the highest quality, followed by 422, and then finally LT. So that's pretty much it. Now you should be ready to record. So like we discussed in the video, I don't think this is necessarily a wise purchase for GH4 shooters, unless for whatever reason you really need to have 422 10-bit in your workflow. Otherwise, I just have to say the Shogun is an amazing device in and of itself. I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm saying that it doesn't give you a huge boost over shooting 4K internally on the camera, and especially if that's mainly why you're buying it, I don't think $2,000 is worth it. But the device in and of itself is incredible. The screen is amazing. The assist features are awesome. Not a lot of monitors have waveform and vector scope, so that was really cool to see. But if you're looking just for a 4K capture device, I don't think it's necessarily the best option. That said, if you're using an A7S or some other 4K cameras, I think it's a great choice. That's my take on the Shogun from Atomos. Great device, not really, in my opinion, a great choice for GH4 users. If you want to learn more about the GH4, check out my guide, and if you're looking for more gear reviews and tutorials, check out DSLRvideoshooter.com.